Also, just in the last hour, Minneapolis Mayor Frey and Police Chief Brian O'Hara were here in our studio. We had previously planned on having them on as guests, but instead talked to them about this situation in Burnsville. Here's that interview. Hey, you both, thank you for coming on. We're coming on to talk about a recruitment video, to talk about policing that we had talked to people about and teased in our 7 o'clock hour. But now, given the situation in Burnsville, we know this is rocking the law enforcement community. I know this is a different city. This is in Burnsville, and we're talking to you folks from Minneapolis, but do you have any personnel there? Can you tell us anything at all about how this is rocking the law enforcement community?
So I was with the Burnsville police chief this morning, as well as several members of our department. You know, our hearts go out to Chief Tanya Schwartz and the members of the Burnsville police and all the families who are affected by this tragedy. It's just a reminder of the nature of this job today, the nature of police work. It's a reminder that policing is truly a noble profession, that our members in departments everywhere have to be prepared on a moment's notice to put their life on the line. And I think we're reminded that just with so much gun violence lately. We've seen Kansas City this week and so many other incidents. You know, our officers, we ask a whole lot of police officers in this country today. We ask them to do a whole lot of different things. And, you know, again, I think this is just a reminder of how serious a commitment people make when they put on this uniform and they leave their loved ones every day.
What does the city do? I mean, these are our neighbors. What do you do to try to help in whatever way you can?
There's a lot of solidarity right now, not just between police officers, but between cities. I reached out to Mayor Couts just a little bit ago to make sure that she knew that the city of Minneapolis is 100% with Burnsville right now, and we're with these police officers and their families. As the chief mentioned, this is not just a noble profession, it's an honorable one. They're running towards danger when many of the rest of us would run in the opposite direction. It's a job that you step up to because you want to protect and serve your communities. And so often the circumstances that they find themselves in are like that of this morning. This is actually not unique, sadly, but truly. And we need to make sure that these police officers have our support, not just in Burnsville, but across our state.
And of course, we know, you know, the jurisdiction lines, they matter and they don't matter. What do you tell your own officers when, like you said, we've seen these dangers in Minneapolis and other cities across the country? What do you tell your officers on a day like this when their friends and neighbors are going through this and their wives and husbands are potentially getting this knock on the door?
Sure. Well, our officers know, you know, obviously criminals don't honor, you know, municipal boundaries. And certainly that has never mattered in law enforcement either. One thing I remember being told in the police academy before the September 11th attacks, you know, if one officer is enough, we'll send 10. If 10 aren't enough, 100 will show up, and so on. And that's what we saw this morning. Chief Roger New was also there this morning, the chief from South St. Paul, other police departments around the metro. Everyone available to offer whatever support is needed, both today and in the coming days, because we know that's absolutely essential. And particularly with our own members, it's important for myself and other chiefs to be present with our members, to remind them that we are here. We're here to support them and their families, because this is something that's very difficult. And I know every police officer out there is thinking, as they hear of this, as they hear of stories from other officers that were there, what they endured. I know they're thinking, my God, that had to be absolutely terrifying. I can't imagine what it would be like to go through that. And I know in the back of their mind, them, their wives, their children, their parents, they're thinking, what if that could have been my loved one?
And that's a thought that they have to have every single time that they go into work. When you go into these circumstances knowingly, it takes a whole kind of bravery that few people have. And still, this is an important public service that we need people to step up to do. And so we're calling on all heroes here. We're saying if you want to make a difference in your community, if you want to make sure that people are protected and served during some of the most trying circumstances that they will ever have in their lives, a police officer is a good and honorable profession to get that done. And while the numbers that we've seen, not just in Minnesota, but nationwide, are dwindling of those that are going into the ranks, it shows how much more important this job is right now.
Yeah, and that's what we had planned to talk about, is more of the recruitment and more of the trying to bring officers in and dwindle down the shortage that we know you have right now. But now we will hear more about that on Tuesday, because like you said, that's when you're planning to put up the video and things like that about this recruitment effort. But I'm curious also, as a day like today, with the change in how departments respond to the mental health of officers, and you know, when they are going through something like this. Can you talk about how that has changed over the years, and the efforts to address it when you have friends, loved ones, colleagues going through something like this?
Sure. I mean, there's a lot that's been done over the last few years, but certainly there's more that we need to do. Particularly officers who work in Minneapolis, who work in the metro, who have endured all that they've endured over the last few years here. Policing is an incredibly traumatizing career over the course of a normal career, because you're going to folks, you know, at their worst moments. You know, mom and dad don't invite the cops over to talk about how well their marriage is going. Like, it's bad situations. They're seeing people more and more often. They're seeing people who are victims of gun violence, who are overdosed and dying, children who are deeply affected, and all of that is incredibly traumatizing over the course of a regular career, let alone add on to it everything that's happened here over the last 3.5 years. So we are human. And I think that's one thing that gets lost. Police officers are human. We are people. We are sons, we are daughters, we are brothers, we are sisters, husbands, and wives. And there is not enough that we can do internally to help our officers' health and wellness. But I think from a community perspective, I know it helps every time a resident comes up and they say, thank you for your service, thank you, we appreciate you, because I know so many officers have felt that they have been painted with such a broad brush over the last few years, that we have all been labeled killers, that we have all been labeled racist. And they feel like, at least even if that's not what's being said, that's what they hear. And oftentimes that just adds so much additional stress on top of the trauma that's built up inside of them. They've had, officers here have had their family members, have had their children harassed over their profession. So I mean, there is not enough we could ever do, I think, to look out for our officers' health and wellness.
And we have a role to play at the city, making sure that these officers have the time and the ability to kind of recalibrate between these calls. Certainly families have a role to play, because they're picking these officers up and putting them back together each and every night before they go in to do the job again the next day. But I'll tell you, we as residents, we as community members also have a job to do, because when these officers are going through hell so many days of the week, it just helps to say thank you also. Thank you for your good and tireless work. Thank you for answering the call when many of the rest of us were going in the opposite direction. It's a tough job, and those that are there right now, yes, they absolutely deserve credit, and they deserve thanks.